assassination attempt number 1 in July, and then assassination attempt number 2 in September. What and when will assassination attempt number 3? When will it happen and what will it look like? We don't want there to be one. We pray that there isn't one, but it seems pretty damn likely given everything. And you know what could be the target? And it better not be. There are things we can do to protect it, to minimize it. Trump Force One, his great, big, beautiful airplane. Yeah, it is a great, big, fat, and unprotected target. And at any given time, almost everybody knows where it is.
You can see the former president's plane landing there right now in Atlanta. This comes after, as I just mentioned, a 2.5-year probe. The former president and 18 others indicted on charges related to efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election right there in Georgia. Presidential level coverage, right? That's what the president should be getting. He's not president yet. He will be, we think, president. That's saturation coverage, and that is a security risk. And that plane doesn't have much in the way of protecting itself. In fact, it has nothing. It is a big, beautiful plane. Obviously, the Trump branding is all over it. It is the envy of the political world, believe me. You think Hillary Clinton would want a jet like that? Yes, she would. So an interesting request, and I think very timely and important, has come in from the Trump campaign. As reported throughout the media world today, Donald Trump's campaign requested military aircraft for Trump to fly in. Again, they are requesting military aircraft for Trump to fly in, all right? For greater protection, it makes sense. He can't be in that plane any longer. It is too unprotected and too vulnerable and too recognizable. The campaign is concerned because they've been briefed by the intelligence authorities. It could be targeted with drones and missiles, all right? Also, the Trump campaign manager, Susie Wiles, she expressed displeasure with the Secret Service. Yeah, there's been a real problem there for a long time. The requests are extraordinary and unprecedented. No nominee in recent history has been ferried around in military planes ahead of an election. But Iran is still actively plotting to kill President Trump. Now, if the administration, as the Washington Post reports, granted such assets, it would give Trump a distinct look in the final months that no challenger has ever had, and would remind voters visually every day that he is under threat, a real threat. Kind of concerns you right there. Would politics weigh in their decision whether or not to grant President Trump military-grade protection when he flies? He definitely deserves it. And Joe Biden at this point, well, technically, he is the president. Air Force One, that's what he has access to, and that's appropriate. But Joe's a lame duck. He's got all that protection, all that military hardware. Air Force One, Trump Force One, side by side. One is essentially impregnable. The other one is, even with a fancy paint job, it's kind of like any other airplane. Trump needs a serious upgrade that only the government can provide. Doesn't quite have to be Air Force One, but something. Air Force One is ready for anything.
There is an enormous amount of extra equipment on board Air Force One. Equipment that you would never see on a private jetliner or a regular commercial jet.
This includes an array of top-secret defense systems. There was a danger that the plane could be a target for missiles. So Air Force One packs an ingenious countermeasure. If a heat-seeking missile locked onto the plane, a series of false target flares would shoot out, generating more heat than the engines themselves and diverting the missiles.
How about that? That's some great stuff. Does Joe Biden really rate this plane anymore? Yeah, he's technically the president of the United States as he hangs around on the beach. I mean, this is the lamest of lame ducks, right? It doesn't get any lamer than this. So you got President Trump, 2 assassination attempts and counting, and Joe Biden on the beach. So I think Donald Trump is bigger than Joe Biden. He is bigger than Joe Biden, and he deserves more protection. Show me the next 2 videos, please, and pictures. This is a situation that, look, He's got bigger crowds than ever before. It's almost like he's the de facto president of the United States. When Joe Biden gets airborne, what also gets airborne? An F-16, right next to the jet sometimes, given the situation, right? I mean, no one's targeting Joe Biden anymore. Nobody even thinks about him anymore. Whereas Iran, they are obsessed with Donald Trump, and they want him dead. And we don't know for sure yet, but Crooks, the shooter in Butler, and Ruth, the shooter at West Palm Beach, the FBI has not ruled out an Iranian connection with these two. They haven't ruled it out. They can't. But we do know that Iran wants President Trump dead.
This is something we've been tracking very intensely for a long time, an ongoing threat by Iran against a number of senior officials, including former government officials like President Trump and some people who are currently serving the administration. So it's something we take very, very seriously. We're looking at it very carefully. I don't have any further information to share, but know that we're watching this very carefully.
Yeah, they're going to watch it happen on TV, and we're watching it very. My beloved Aunt Mary, my godmother, she's 88 years old, has more force and backbone than that guy. That's weakness right there. I don't think Iran is scared. I don't think anybody is scared right now, and they want Trump dead. Take a look at this. U.S. spies have determined that Iran's leaders are seeking to take revenge on U.S. officials, including Trump, whom they hold responsible for a strike that killed Iranian Major General Qasem Soleimani in 2020. Iran actually makes no secret of its intention to kill Trump. An animated video showing a drone firing on Trump playing golf has resurfaced recently. The video was posted to the Supreme Leader, Ali Khamenei is his name. They put it right on his website. Iran has likely felt able to threaten the former president based in part on the lack of serious consequences by the West for its lethal operations. And the very wimpy Tony Blinken, the at the beach Joe Biden, doesn't seem like we can really deliver a counter punch, does it? And the idea of Trump Force One being shot down, it's very, very conceivable. Have you ever heard of a man-pad? It's basically a shoulder-fired surface-to-air missile that can take out an aircraft. They are all over the world. Over the past few decades, 60 civilian aircraft have been destroyed by these things, 1,000 passengers killed. And with all of our weapons going to Ukraine and a whole bunch left over in Afghanistan, these things have flooded the black market. American weapons are now in the hands of terrorists, including these very effective and easy-to-use shoulder-fired weapons. All right, Trump Force One, great plane. However, I think it's going to be replaced soon. Oh, wait a second. Joe Biden just said a little while ago, actually, as long as he doesn't ask for F-15s, I've told the department to give him every single thing he needs. That just came in a little while ago. Okay. Give the department everything he needs. We have to follow up because we've heard from the Secret Service director a couple of times that they're going to give him everything he needs, and that hasn't worked out too well. So Trump Force One will likely not be seen, perhaps, much longer. And hopefully President Trump will be on Air Force One. I got to tell you, Air Force One versus Trump One. Air Force One is better. It's bigger, longer range, and the food is awesome. Little known fact, it's all you can eat on Air Force One. I was a White House correspondent there with Fox back in the early aughts. All right, next, please. We call her the hustler, Kamala Harris. She is hustling. What is a hustler? Somebody who cons you, somebody who is not telling you the truth, trying to get you to do something. It's basically a fraudster. And she did a little town hall on Univision, right? Spanish speaking, great. This woman is trying to fool them. I think they're seeing right through her. Take a look at this.
Right now, leaning towards Trump, but I haven't made a decision. I'm also concerned about the way I feel President Biden was pushed aside.
Oh.
So the question is, how can you clarify this whole process and how you were elected?
Sure. And first of all, thank you for being so candid. and allowing me to answer the question. Thank you.
And now she's not going to be candid back. Guy's question was, yeah, Joe Biden, whatever happened to him? How did that happen? You realize no mainstream media reporters have put that to Joe Biden or her in any significant way, sustained way. The guy also was like, hey, nobody voted for you. Earlier, he said, you got no votes. How is it that you're here? And what happened to Joe Biden? Remember, 42 hours, he goes into hiding, and he comes out the ex-nominee, and nobody asks any questions. It's pretty crazy. Kamala did not answer these very valid concerns, but she tried to scare people and lie about Trump.
There is a huge contrast in this election. Donald Trump has said he will be a dictator on day one. Many people come from backgrounds and countries of origin, and we know what that means when you're talking about someone who wants to be president of the United States and wants to be a dictator, and what that means in terms of taking freedoms from their people. Donald Trump has said he would weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. I urge you to look at Project 2025, and you will see he will strip the Department of Justice of its independence and put in and hire across the board, instead of career public servants, his people.
Imagine that, a democratically elected president putting in his people into a political department. How about that? It's weird how they made that sound horrible and nasty. But the guy asked, hey, you got no votes, and whatever happened to Joe Biden? And he's not digging it, by the way. Did you notice that? It was my favorite moment. He is not impressed. The lie about being a dictator on day one, all right? You know where this came from? He actually said it a couple of times. It's innocent. I know exactly what he's talking about. They're lying when they characterize it this way. Let's take a look.
Under no circumstances, you are promising America tonight, you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Except
Look,
what?
he's going crazy. Except for day one.
Meaning?
I want to close the border, and I want to drill.
That's not retribution.
I'm going to be, you know, he keeps, we love this guy. He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one. We're closing the border, and we're drilling. After that, I'm not a dictator.
Well, he's talking about executive orders. Okay, executive orders, and every president does it. He did it on day one. It's no big deal. It's standard, all right? This is, and folks, congressional critics, executive branch scholars have been complaining about executive orders for a long time. Like, you need Congress. You shouldn't be doing this, but they all do it. All of them. And it always makes people mad. In fact, there's always a series of articles that come out when Bush did it, when Obama did it, when all these guys did it. This is a dictatorship. Is America heading to a dictatorship, right? Look at them. They're dressed up as dictators, I guess. October 23rd, 2015. This is a perennial issue, trying to make it seem like Donald Trump is, right, he's not really exceptional in this regard, the executive orders. And closing the border day one, that will happen. And it's not a dictatorship. Oh, a couple of other things. Barack Obama was on the campaign trail trying to, I don't know, I don't think he's into Kamala at all. He is, I can tell a guy who's going through the motions, and he's going through the motions. And we saw some flashes of his arrogance. I forgot about how arrogant he can be. So I don't know if this was before the big speech or after the big speech, but he walks into a room and he chews out everybody there. It's like he's shaming them, especially black men. It's weird. Take a look.
And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that.
Well, there's something very, I don't know, arrogant about that. And kind of like a gym teacher scolding a class. It very much felt like school.